We just finished Memorial Day weekend, as all of you did, and gas prices are through the roof. Here in Ann Arbor, even regular was above $4 a gallon. It's an all-time record whether you're looking at constant dollars, real dollars, or any kind of dollars you want, and nobody likes it. Now, a lot of people blame the oil companies for this, but if you really look at the numbers, the oil companies are not the guilty parties here. During Memorial Day, crude oil was $130 a barrel. Now there's 42 gallons in a barrel, so if you calculate that out, it comes out to something like $3.10 a gallon of crude. So right off the bat, the raw material in a gallon of gas costs $3.10. Now for a column, I went through ExxonMobil's annual report last year, and they make some money pulling oil out of the ground, although they don't own most of that oil. They own some of it, but most of it they simply do under contract for the various countries that own the oil. And they also make some money refining the oil, turning it into gasoline. All told, they make something like 58 cents a gallon last year, doing both getting it out of the ground and refining it. But keep in mind, they don't keep all that 58 cents. Of that 58 cents, they give 25 cents to the federal government in income tax, and they get to keep 33 cents. Meanwhile, here in Michigan, we've got something like 18.75% tax on the gasoline to keep up the roads and do other things they do. At $4 a gallon, there's 24 cents of sales tax in there. There's also a federal 18.4 cents a tax per gallon. And if you put in the 25 cents a gallon income tax, at the end of the day, ExxonMobil has made 33 cents after tax profit per gallon, and the federal government and the state government together have made something like 87 cents. And meanwhile, the owners of the oil have gotten $3.10. So the big money in this price of gas increase isn't going to the oil companies. Now, I'll tell you one place where it is going. It's going because the dollar isn't worth very much anymore. If we go back a few years when the euro first came on the market, and that's the currency that all of Europe uses with a couple of exceptions, when the euro started, you could buy a euro for 82 cents. Meanwhile, the dollar's been going down. It's been going down because we're running a deficit, we're fighting a war we can't pay for, we're making future promises to retirees and future retirees that are really unrealistic, and the rest of the world is looking around and saying the dollar is going to go to heck, and its value is falling. So today, to buy a euro, it's not 82 cents, it's not even a dollar, it's about $1.56. So if you look at the price of oil, in the last 5 or 6 years, it's gone from $30 to $130, but in euros, it's only gone from about 36 euros to 80 euros. In other words, if the dollar hadn't fallen, the oil would still be something like $80 a barrel instead of $130 a barrel, and gas wouldn't be $4 a gallon, it'd be under $3 a gallon. So part of our gas increase is a direct result of the policies that we as a government have pursued to devalue the dollar. And that you can't blame on anyone but ourselves. The third big factor is simply supply and demand. We all see how much stuff we're getting from China these days. It's manufactured items, it's clothes, it's everything else. The Chinese economy is booming. To run their factories, they need more energy. The Chinese are earning more money. They're growing, they can afford better food. It takes energy to grow better food. They can afford better houses. It takes energy to build and heat and cool those houses. In other words, China's energy demands are exploding. India's are not far behind, and the fact is a lot of this energy comes from oil. So there's a huge increase in demand for oil that's occurred over the last several years. Now, China was growing for a long time before that too, but the problem is that the supply of oil isn't growing as fast as demand is. And as in anything, when the demand exceeds the supply, the price goes up. Now again, if we wanted to fix some of that, we could try and get people to drill for more oil, or maybe if we were a little smarter, we'd drill for some more oil at home. We know there's oil up at the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in northeastern Alaska. There's some environmental concerns about getting that oil, but frankly, I've been up to the Alaska pipeline. I've driven along the pipeline all the way from Fairbanks to Prudhoe Bay. It's not a dirty operation. And by the way, it would be pretty obvious. Oil is black, snow is white. Leaks are pretty obvious. I didn't see any. There's also plenty of offshore oil whose drilling for has been banned of late, offshore from California and Florida. Right now, at a time when the price of crude oil has gone up fundamentally because there's not enough of it to fulfill the growing demand, we really ought to be adding to the supply, and we ought to be doing it in our own country where it's under our own control. So the next time you go to the gas station and start getting really pissed off about the high price of gas, don't direct your anger at the oil company. The oil company's making good money, but their profit is not what's causing gas prices to be high. Instead, take a look at Washington and look at the policies that have caused the dollar to fall, because that's one of the direct factors that's causing oil prices to go up. And also, Washington is preventing the drilling that could add supply to the market that would bring the price down. That's where your anger ought to be directed, and that's where progress could be made.